G'day Scrappers, Menace here with another episode of Scrap Mechanic, and we are back inside the world where I built my Trebuchet, and as you can see, I've added all sorts of stuff to it. It's really turned out so much better than I actually ever imagined, and luckily for me, I was just sort of thinking about my design and how I could make it more accurate or more consistent with the trajectory of our electric engine, and I have got it, dudes. I've got it fully figured out right now for everybody. I had to alter the capsule just a little bit. This is our capsule now. It's got a little piece on the top because of the way that I've set it up, and that also called for a bit of interesting loading technique. So I could no longer, well, what I didn't want to do is add extra kind of blocks that I have to build around the electric engine. So I wanted to leave the capsule pretty much the same and have a loading mechanism, which is what this bad boy is here. I really wanted to limit the actions of basically just making a block, putting our engine on it, and then deleting them so that it's not, you know, a real pain in the butt to reload this thing. But yeah, the reason that I have done it with a capsule like this is, you know, I could actually make it look really like cool and whatnot. Put some more in here, but I think I'll just leave it for now. The reason I've had to do it like that is because I've set it up in such a way that I'm pretty much like locking it into position. So I'll show you what I've done. All right, this is the same, exactly the same as the last episode where we have two buttons. So first one is the cocking mechanism where we will actually bring the swing arm up to a spot in which we can launch it from. Then I will actually, instead of using this to trigger, I'll hook it up like that. All right, and it will sit there. This is spring loaded now, which is super cool. And then all we have to do is hit the actual firing pin, which is that one there, and then it will launch our beautiful engine into oblivion. So to reload, we're going to do that. Oops, don't need to go in there. We're going to drop this all the way down. No, I've actually decided against having that as a rotational device. It's just an on and off. So now I am going to use the loading mechanism. And how the loading mechanism works is, you'll see in a second, we drop down our projectile here. It is a loose object so that we can then launch it out of the engine. And to do that, I'll show you just once more. All we need to do is actually put it here, is create a little 4 square right there. Put our engine right in that spot there. Delete these blocks need to go because that push arm is what loads up our projectile. Okay, what will happen then is this entire platform will swing around on this bearing here, 90 degrees, lining up with this. I've also had to put in at the same time a bit of a buttress, I guess. I think that's what you would call it. Just so it will hold our basket in place. And then after that, this push rod will extend out, thus loading up our projectile. And let's see that happen all in one big go. So at the same time, these two kind of clamp our basket into position. This will then load it up very nicely. Oh, as I say that, there we go. That's the first time I've seen it do that. I guess it's not perfect every time. We just turn this off, reverse all of those bearings in there, and now we have our projectile completely loaded up. And now I will show you how this actually will fire, and it will fire fairly consistently, I've found. So again, we activate this first one, we then grab our bearing and create a spring loaded mechanism. So by default, this bearing wants to be horizontal. Okay, and what we've done, we've brought the swing arm back into a position where the bearing's like, we're exploiting the mechanic of the bearing having a default position. Basically, that's the whole premise of the entire catapult. So therefore, there is force trying to rotate this clockwise to get the shortest path to that horizontal position. Interesting thing to know that it will always take the shortest path. So if this is past horizontal here, say it's like sticking up at like the 2 o'clock position. Think of it as in like a big circular clock. Right now it's like, what, 4 o'clock or whatever. If this was in the 2 o'clock position, it will actually swing around anti-clockwise to default position. So you need to have this below below the 3 o'clock. All right. From here, we simply activate that cocking mechanism, and then we just watch. What is different? What is different is I put extra blocks on there. You know, I knew that would happen. I knew it. I've done this, fired this like 10 times. I swear it's worked every time. Why did it have to do that? All right. Let's remove these blocks because that's what was different. Was it on the other side? I think it was on the other side. We can do that. That may be the reason why the load wasn't so smooth this time, I guess. So let's try once more. Again, coming up, clamping the basket into position, and then we push you in there. That's better. All right. Unload. Well, remove the loading mechanism. Around she goes. Maybe it'll work this time. I'll be very upset if this doesn't work anymore. Okay, so cocking the weapon. Adding the spring-loaded mechanism, and then off we go again. Let's try once more. Oh, is it going to go fall down through the earth? Okay, it worked, but that's not where I intended it to happen. So something has changed. Maybe it was on the other side. Let's try and put you on the other side. I don't remember if it was like this. Oop. Or was it there as well? I don't know what has happened. You know what happened is I hit record. Thought I had an awesome video planned out for everybody, but instead, Scrap Mechanic decides to be an inconsistent pain in my rectum. In she goes. Okay, cool. Let's try again. I thought I had it down and nailed. You know, that's really kind of disappointing. So we'll fire it up here. Create the tension and then attempt to fire for number 3. That's more like it. Oh, look at it just soar. Okay. Goodbye. I don't know if you can even see that orange speck. It fell through the planet. I love it when it falls through. I don't know how long this world's going to last if I keep doing that, though. Let's try again. Let's go for consistency. That's what the key is here. I want a consistent area in which I can create. Look, that looks kind of where it was landing, right? So that then I can recreate it on wheels, right? And then what we can do is create a couple of them, and then maybe a few friends could get together and we could have a fight. A catapult fight. A trebuchet fight. Oh, that'd be so cool. Let's go again. Thank you. That's loaded nicely. So then we've got to think about trebuchet designs, because I think I could make this much more compact. Let's get this in here. Hook you up there, sir. And then... Interesting. That was not 100%. What did I do differently there? Did I mess something up? All right, it's loaded. Actually, no, we're gonna have to reload that. We can still use the same projectile. It's just a matter of pushing you into position. Oh, stay! Yes, yes. It just caught it in time. Push it in. There you go. Nice. Okay, now she's nice and snug, all up in here. Let's remove that and see if that makes a difference. Because there's different weight. Like the weight on there, the smallest amount means a whole lot in this scenario. No, you know what? I'm going to put them back. Because I want to see if we get to the same area again. Or see if I did anything different. So you see how that's like... There we go. We won't wait till it stops. Maybe that's the issue. I'm a peanut. Massive peanut. I didn't even put the tension on. That's what I needed to do. Alright. Fire her up. Put you down here. Interesting. I mean, it kind of goes the same distance as you can see the other one there. Let's try a couple more times. Maybe I can add, you know, weight to the front. I want it to sort of... I want more weight at the back. Maybe we could put some... What's the heaviest weight here? Some of this in here. Don't need those wheels. Like, look at the weight in that. Maybe that'll be enough for our projectile. But will we be able to load it? That's a good question too. No, we don't want that. We want to go there. And then... Could also be the way that the engine's loaded. I mean, I don't really know if there is actual, you know, different areas of weight. Yeah, okay, that's not working. Sort of is. No, we'll get rid of that. Okay, that's too much. Too much weight. I'll drop you off here. See if that will work. It's just pretty much like a test. Just experimenting with different weights, which is always fun to do. That's better. Now she sort of grips the basket nicely. Excellent. Get you out of there. This could also affect, you know, how far the projectile goes, because there's now technically more weight on that basket. It's a bit of a science to it, isn't there? Let's load her up. Connect our spring and then see how this goes. That's not bad. That's actually a really good projectile. It just falls straight through the earth. I like it. All right. Let's see if we can get consistency out of this now. Have to wait till you swing back. Down you go. All right. Nicely done. We will then hook up you in here like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get rid of those. Let's try once more. We'll do it a couple of times at least. This is probably the most fun I've had in Scrap Mechanic in a while. I mean, the other stuff is fun too, but this is the most fun, if you understand what I mean. Alright, time to load her up. You can go directly like that. Spring load the bearing, activate the firing pin. I mean, that's pretty similar position that we've had previously. I would like it, however, to be a little bit higher, so... no, I don't want to do that. I wonder if I could possibly take off some weight on the front. I could probably skim it down a bit. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. What I could do is remove you and you. That's probably too much, though. Because what will happen here is the loading mechanism won't grab it properly, which is kind of unfortunate. I could add some... like in here. Into there. Like that. Sort of to push it up. 6, we're going to go rotate it 90 degrees blue. Let's see if that's going to work. That'd be better. Hey, that's actually really good. It's worked perfectly. Let's see how you go back and down. That works fine just for me. Looks good to you. Looks good to me. Yep. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. Launch! Doesn't go anywhere. All right then. Disconnect that. We need to put our weight back on the front now. Really is a big balancing act, isn't it? What if I did this? Or what if it's just one? One block like in here. There we go. What do I need to do now? The process all over again. Just chucking in. You. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then off we go. That's so cool. Like, really cool. I'm really proud of that loading mechanism. In you go. Drop all of this down now. Cool. All right. You. Step 2. Step 3. Please work. Whoa, that's huge. Didn't fall through the earth. All right, let's try. I'm pretty happy with that projectile. Actually, a little bit further would be nice. So I think it was if we remove this one, put it in there. Let's put one a little bit forward now. This will work. This is going to be it, isn't it? All right, it's gonna work, aren't you, Scrap Mechanic? Please be consistent. Oh, that. Oh no! No, it's fine. Isn't it? It is fine. What was that block doing there? Oh, was that part of this? It was part of this. That's what it was. Phew! I did make a little mess of my undies then. Was worried I totally messed up and screwed up my loading mechanism. In you go. Slide in there. Nice and tight. Snug. Get out now. Great stuff. And then up you go. Number 2. Interesting. All right, let's remove that block. Please stop. And drop you down. Oh, you go first, then you down here, and then just boop, like that. Let's load her up one more time, and then, you know, if this is where, if this projectile goes good, which I believe it did when we did just a little bit before, it really does lean back. There's so much weight in those tiles. Maybe I could use a different material, the medium weight stuff. What do we got? Lightweight, medium weight. Maybe I could use tile blocks instead to counterbalance. It's the basket, I guess you call it. Yeah, I've been calling it the basket, so it's the basket now. Up you go. Hook you up. And we're just going to launch like this. Yeah, okay, that's not very good projectile at all. And I'm going to assume that's probably because of the metal at the back. So let's replace that with just some normal tile block. This medium weight to bricks, tiles. We use tiles. Get rid of that, and also that. What if I did this? Nah, we'll do that in a sec. Having all these ideas, it's a matter of the push points and all the physics behind it. So many things to think about. So many variables that can be adjusted. Put you in there as well. And then in. All right, what I want to do, the goal of this is basically to have a trebuchet war. Having multiple of these, we kind of set out into the battlefield, and then from there, we try and hit. And if anybody hits the trebuchet, they lose, basically. Please work, please work, please work. Ugh. All right, back to wood we go. I'm just trying to think about stuff. Let me have a muck around with this, and I'll see you in a second. Pew! All right, I think I've got it. I think I've got a fairly good projectile out of that one. Let's see if it'll just be consistent enough that I can call it a good design and be done with it, and then we can work on an actual trebuchet, which will be next episode. I hope you don't mind Me spamming these episodes of Trebuchet Scrap Mechanic. So what I did instead was try and put weight on the front. Maybe it'll sort of balance it out a bit better, and you know what? It actually worked pretty well. That time anyway. Let's see if it does it again. We'll test this one, and I think that might be it for this episode. You. Then load you up. Yep. And then please work. Let's try one more time. One more time. Drop you down. I wonder what the difference is. Like, is it just luck? I don't know. It's just not, it's not absolute, you know? Everything is not working as I would expect. Push you in. Shoop. Cannon loaded. There's a lot of moving parts in this, isn't there? Alright, sweet. That there. Wait for it to fully stop moving, maybe. That's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with it. So, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I've had fun with this Trebuchet. Now time to make it mobile and then make multiple of them and then make a map out of it. Oh, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all in the next video.